in return.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out and how they're going to be able to do it, and how they're going to be able to play. I mean, the smoke's going to come out right away here from Klim. I don't know if this is to get aggressive, or if it's just to plant wards, because I don't know. Do they have a good level 1 fight?
Either team really does. I would favor the side with the ion shells personally, but this is Darkseer into an Enchantress, which oh, I can't believe I didn't notice that earlier. Like they picked it into the Eng. It's entirely possible that Zeneca is going to have a crappy lane.
It might not be great. No, it might not be amazing. We'll see how it's going to play through and how they are going to be able to control in this one. What they're going to be able to do in terms of just damage-wise. But how do you play this one? Because I mean, Violent. I don't think Violent's going to have the best of times here either as well. Just being controlled out, having his damage reduced. Having to come through into the. Oh no, Magnuses don't go for the alien power, right? It's just shockwaves and skewers. So
yeah, it depends. Like sometimes you see them going Empower if they think they're going to have stacks to take. For example, in this game, if you get to touch stacks as a Magnus, you're robbing your other two cores, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of early harass coming out here. Backlines, Spike does come through. I don't actually think that connected here. Nig just going to have to back himself away. The bounty rune's going the way of Klim. And are we seeing a 2? Nope, it's going to be the 3 for 1. So just a little bit of an early bonus coming out here for Klim. We'll see how they're going to be able to try and play around this. And you can see already, like you say, Respect getting in onto Zeneca. Zeneca, the slowdown onto Hellscream. So Hellscream's not even going to be able to get in range. He's already used that Fisher there as well, just trying to block the creep wave. We'll see this harass. Yeah, it just goes around it. There was no full connection.
Yeah, double melee versus 2 range in a lane where a Darkseer wants to survive through the use of ion shells and surges, both of which can be purged off by the enchant.
Yeah, and
not gonna lie, this is a rough one.
It's a nasty lane. Yeah, we'll see how they're going to try and play around this one, what they can actually do. Do you, speaking of the Enchantress, because the builds that I've been seeing, more common than not, is just completely ignoring the impetus. Going for the max enchant, getting a couple of points into the Nature's Attendants as well. Do you think that's how you want to build this on Respect here in this match?
Yeah, I think that will work out perfectly fine for you. You're going to get to hit them plenty regardless, because the slow gives you such good trading potential versus the melees.
Okay. And looking in the mid lane here as well, Nicky Cool trying to step up against Chira Jr. Didn't have the best time against the TA in the mid lane on the Pango in the last game, but is it a little bit more comfortable for the Pango in this game, or is the Ember Spirit going to apply just as much pressure, do you think?
No, the Ember Spirit is definitely less bad for the Pangolier. They're especially because the Ember Spirit cannot wipe waves as fast as the TA can. If the TA is in the right position, she just immediately shoves that wave into your tower.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot more contact hours, shall we say, with an Ember Spirit. So you're going to get to slap him around a lot more. You're going to get to properly use your shield crash in here. Of course, you have no way to go through the Flame Guard.
Oh, nice sleight of fist there, though, dodging off the shield crash. Okay. It's almost like Chira Jr.'s played this hero before. Yeah. And
weird how that happens. But yeah, this is one of the big differences where at least you can clear the wave in the same amount of time, and you will actually be able to get the runes every single time, which is something that was not possible versus the TA for Nicky Cool.
Okay. And we can see the Respect using the potato here to pull the lane. Oh, do they get the aggression? They do. I caught the end of it. But damage coming out. Is that... Yeah, it counts it. I mean, it's split, right? But it's still a shared bounty. It's still technically first blood.
Technically, I mean, apart from like the nice announcement and the bonus gold.
Yeah.
Technically. That's kind of correct.
It was a death. It was the death being spilled here. I was just taking a look at the Respect using the potato to cut the wave on the top lane. Hellscream trying to get aggressive as well, but Zeneca was being harassed right back by the main Enchantress hero.
Yeah, sorry, I had to do a double take on the potato. I was like, if a potato became prime minister, what?
Yeah, the what do you talk? The potato and the tomato.
Yeah,
the Hellbear Smash is just its casual name. It's the real names.
I know. It's as old as time, and yet my brain for a brief moment saw an actual spud
I mean, the monster model isn't far off.
No, it's not. That's not. I should give him some of those like green tendrils because he's been in the cupboard for too long.
Yeah, it just starts to sprout a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh. How are we looking? I mean, last hit wise, the Magnus is actually keeping pace. Luna's suffering a little bit compared to the Faceless Void, but Cloud, he's keeping pace. In fact, he's getting the denies in here as well. Top lane, they're going to be able to get the kill. Respect is going to go down to Hellscream after the fact, though. I think maybe trying to deny himself to the neutral, but Hellscream was just way too close.
Yeah, Hellscream's also only just now cracking level 3 with Munkushi being a really big winner of this trade here. And this lane is just not going to get any easier for the Radiant side like this.
No. Darkseer does actually go for the Helm of the Iron Will right off the bat. So, okay, we'll see. Is it going to be the build that we expect from most offlaners as they dive onto Munkushi? Underneath this, well, there's going to be the rotation from Ake now as well. Did they get the kill onto Luna? Luna is going to go down. They might even be able to get on the Respect now as well, thanks to that Fisher Hellscream. Chase is coming out. They might have the control to do the damage now as well. Surge onto Hellscream just to make sure he doesn't get slowed down way too much. TP cancelled off by the Rubik. They will be able to get both heroes here on the safe lane. And Klim Sani4, all of a sudden, they find themselves behind in this early game just by a couple of kills.
That rotation from Ake really saves the lane there. That could have gone so much worse. But instead, you are up versus two very fragile heroes. If you manage to get up in their faces, then you can kill both of them. That's exactly what they did there. Really like the little thing from Respect there, though, when he walks back into the tower. That looked weird, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
You know what that's for?
Go on.
That's for if the Rubik TP comes through, he wants to have the heroes right there in range for a toss back into the tower. And it's up.
Yeah, well, I guess fortunately for Sweden Strong, he cancelled that off. He didn't put himself at too much risk.
No, it was not actually.
Oh, Chira Jr. He does get the shackles off here, the Searing Chains and Ake with the mana drain, but Chira Jr., it's only, I think that's a level 1 mana drain there as well, yeah, so not even full damage. And now rotation comes in from Respect. They're going to be able to get the telekinesis back. Oh, Spike, did he get the kill? He comes back in onto this one, Chira, and it's going to cost him his life. Sweden Strong does get the response, but I don't think he needed to come back in.
No. I mean, you're an Ember Spirit though, right? Your instinct is to hover. Like the awkward dude who wants to talk to somebody at a party but can't quite bring himself to do it.
Wallflowering.
You're gonna be like right in that position.
Yeah, we can see backlines. Didn't we go Sweden Strong does get the telekinesis. Actually drags Nikki cooldown into the river from this one. Shield crash now as well. Has a Rolling Thunder going to be able to swashbuckle himself up, but it doesn't matter. Chira Jr. instantly respawns, gets his revenge, dives in with the Remnant, and Ake, well, he's going to try and do what he can with that Earth Spike now as well, but you've got that Ember Spirit taking shots. Yeah, straight into the wing arms of the Earth Shaker. And Hellscream, it was a good setup here. Chira Jr. has to use that full bottle, get himself away, maybe even group up with Respect here for those Nature's Attendance heals.
I mean, he comes out alive, so I guess you can give him the respect for that. But that feels like Chira's a little frustrated.
Just a little bit, yeah. Jump in, bottom lane now. The rotation, Nikki Cool onto Cloud. Cloud, does he get the kill onto Violent before he goes down? Rolling Thunder, it says no.
Very nice. And but if you look at this early game compared to the previous one, the Nemiga are way more in control of what they're doing right now. They're actually making moves. They were the first one to bring an extra hero to top. They were the first one to make that rotation onto mid. Even if it hasn't exactly been working out for them in terms of like, oh, they're not ahead yet, it does mean that so far they are in control of this game. They control the tempo at this moment. And if they can keep that going, then I think Klim Sani4 might have a little bit of a greedy draft.
Yeah, we'll see if they are going to be able to, like you say, be able to improve themselves. Hellscream moved himself away. He was enchanted, slowed down, so the Centaur was able to get the stomp off, but his teammates rotate through, help him out here. And yeah, no, it does feel like, at the minute, at least Nemiga, they are going to be able to set this pace, and that's what you want. Well, that's what we wanted, right, coming into maybe not what Klim Sani4 wants, but for the minute, Nemiga, this is what we want. Maybe to try and be able to pull it through to a game number 3.
Exactly. Or at the very least, we're going to see some fireworks because two teams fighting over the tempo control is what good games are made of. As Chira hexed.
Yeah, the damage coming through onto the Emperor. He's going to be able to get the Searing Chains off now as well. Rubik rotates in. Fadeball. But the Chronosphere rotation comes out from Violent. They're going to be able to get this kill onto the Emperor. He does go down. And no big rotations from the side of Klim Sani4. That they're just going to give this one up. The Magnus happy to carry on farming out here. Does have the level 6, but no RP picked up. So he's not even going to rotate for this fight. In respect, you've got to be careful about how close you're playing it to those 3 heroes on the side of Nemiga.
Exactly. And this is the Violent I know and respect. Alright, boys. I have my level 6. I see an opportunity. We kill.
Yeah, and I'm seeing this come out from carry heroes more and more now that even, pre 10 minutes, they feel comfortable going for a TP, and when they have these big ultimates up to get aggressive and put the pressure on and, rotate into mid lanes for those fights.
And I've been saying this for years, and really, like, I can't say that it's my idea, because ultimately I work with Mushi, and Mushi is the guy who used to do that, right?
Yeah.
If things got dire, he would just actually rotate on his Luna, he would show up. But that's... In general, the rule of Dota 2 has always been whoever brings more guys wins. It's the same in Dota as it is in, behind the bike shed at school.
Yeah. And we might see a couple of rotations coming out. Searing Chains here onto Earthshaker, but Chira Jr. he's getting cheeky. He's trying to take away these stacks, and Zeneca did actually go for the Veil. Now Rolling Thunder, but Nicky Cool. Ooh, it wasn't there early enough. Chira Jr. is going to be able to get himself away. Nicky Cool, does he want to chase his invis? He's going to be the Earthspike coming out now as well, and Chira Jr. he might have fallen into the trap, but no, Telekinesis. Hex is going to be there now as well. Chira Jr. is going to be able to get that Remnant away to safety and respect. He might not be that safe. He does pop the Nation's Attendance now. Nicky Cool coming in with the Swashbuckle. They're going to be able to go. Another Earthspike comes through. They get the kill onto respect, and respect just being caught out here behind enemy lines, but Munkushi, he's going to get involved now. Do they get the kill? They're going to be able to get the kill onto Ake. Lucent Beam onto Zeneca. Can they get himself away from the danger? Rolling Thunder on the backlines now as well, but Nicky Cool, not the healthiest hero in the world from this one, has to maybe get himself away, jump away. Chira Jr. to the Remnant. No, they have the control, they have the kill, and Chira Jr. just overstaying his welcome here.
Yep, and this was exactly the risk we were talking about in the draft, right? This Ember Spirit, yeah, you could have yourself a phenomenal game and really empower the rest of your team to make plays, to follow up on you, etc. But if you misplay, or if you think they got your back and they don't, then, well, you are vulnerable. Very vulnerable indeed. Yeah,
and this is... Well, like you said, that he's diving into stuns on the Earthshaker. He's he's diving into dangerous positions. He's going to be going to that Mage Slayer first item, it looks like, on the Ember Spirit. But yeah, maybe he just needs to just be a little bit more measured on where he does dive into.
And now, make no mistake, once he has the Mage Slayer, he is going to be extremely tanky, and it's going to be very hard to bring him down, because all of the areas that he dives on are going to be a couple of levels lower as far as their spell damage is concerned.
Yeah, and a big 4-man group up coming out from Klim Sani4 now as well, so they maybe do want to take some of this tempo back, setting up, taking down that tier 1 tower, which, it does give them some map control, right? Do you expect them to try and force through and, maybe take away all of this farm away from Nemiga, take away the jungle safety?
Absolutely, that's what we saw them really focus on in the previous game as well, and here, like, Chera is not going to be happy with how many deaths he's been copping in the mid lane, but this does give them space to breathe again already. Their mid tower is still very healthy. This smoke here is... It's going to be rather clear very soon, and they've already cleared the camps here as well, so... Yeah, once again, the way that, Nemiga made a couple of moves, we were like, okay, right, we're giving them a good old slap this game. What is that? Reaction speed, Chira.
Yeah, somebody check his computer here, because that was VAC ban worthy. It was just instantly on the... Yeah, no, I don't even know... I think he was just using it on the creeps, but he hits onto the heroes, pops those Searing Chains as well. I think
because he was not going to use the chains on the creeps.
Yeah, no, maybe just a happy accident there coming out for the Ember Spirit, and he just gets it at the perfect time to dodge off the Earth Spike.
Dang. Well, he could use some good luck.
Yeah, and I'm going to take that back. He's a pro, so it was 100% calculated, He he knew it. The spider sense was tingling. He knew exactly where to get that one off. Nicky Cool, a smoke reveal though. There's going to be 3 heroes waiting around on the side of Klim. Savage RP. Do they have the lockdown to get the kill into the Pangolier? The wall is going to be dropped now as well. But to skewer back, Nicky Cool still on that high ground. Going to get himself away from this one now as well. Respect could be in danger. Ake, I think he's already, yeah, he's holding that finger here. Good 2-man chrono coming out now as well. Lion, does he want to try and throw that finger out to try and get a stack, try and get the kill? Throws it out onto the Magnus, and there, Zeneca, he gets that 2-man. Really good follow-up coming out from Violent with the Chronosphere, and just no answer from Klim Sani4 because, well, everybody was controlled.
Yeah. That retreat, I mean, the positioning, I think Respect's going to go down here, but I do want to point out that the positioning of Respect here is what you would have wanted Ike to be in the previous game on that Bane, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of over-positioned, you're kind of forward, but you're on a high ground, you're giving vision, you're delaying them while the rest of your team makes use of your vision. It's just that Ench is better at that.
Yeah. And, yeah, can soak the aggression coming out as well with the Untouchable. The Nature's Attendance heals, like you say, yeah, she's a little bit better on being that scouting hero. And you can see that Nicky Cool slows him down with the Diffusal Blade, and Ench just turns right back around and says, I can do that too. So that's out the enchant and Respect. Yeah, and nobody's going anywhere.
That is a good start of the fight for Klim Sani4, but the follow-up is once they retreat and they have to go through the choke point, yeah, that's a good Chronosphere opportunity. And the amount of stuns that Nemiga can layer here once they really get to scope them out, that is something that Klim Sani4 cannot answer in kind when they've spent the RP.
Yeah, you are relying on the control coming out from the Searing Chains, the mini stuns as well from Luna. You know, coming up, actually going for the 3 points in the Lucent Beam here at level 12, so not picking anything up in the Eclipse. But Telekinesis, there is some, but it's not the massive control that Nemiga has on their side. Yeah, no, I think you're right that they need to be really good with the positions, you know, in, out, trying to bait out some of these spells from Nemiga.
Yep. And that honestly goes for both of them. You cannot afford to get caught with... I mean, your Darkseer is going to be too far forward in general. Like, that's just... The hero's ranges are short, you're a melee. But you've got your armor, you've got the Shiva's Guard built. That's kind of where he is going to be able to at least tank a bunch. But you need to not be caught on top of him with either the Void or with the Pangolier.
Yeah, and I do like this, that he didn't opt to go for the mech, you know, just trying to go for those auras, that he did go with it, because, I mean, the old Darkseer build, the Shiva's was like the 5th, maybe the 6th item, you know, when you were fully stacked. So just being able to focus that one down early on. Oh, Cloud just immediately skews himself away.
But now we can actually get to see Nemiga in a place where they get to play the map, they get to breathe, they got that top tower down. I'm hoping that we're going to see him place some vision. They got a ward over on Ike in the enemy jungle here.
Is it
well?
Is it too early for Nemiga to be considering Roche, even taking away that tier 1 tower, you know, taking that top map control?
I mean, you have a Pango. You would certainly like to do it, but the rest of their lineup is not great. That's...
Oh, the Chrono. The finger comes out now as well onto the Emissary. The Emissary. Is he going to be able to get himself away? He does. He outlasts it now. Wall on the back. Sweden Strong going to be slowed down. They're going to be able to get the kill onto 8 Rolling Thunder, but no shield crash up to the high ground. And Nicky Cool, even with the damage coming through here, he's just going to try and have to use that to get himself away. Does he reset? Because the Rolling Thunder used completely defensively now. They get the lockdown into the Faceless Void. Are they going to have enough lockdown to get the kill? Time Walk comes out here to the Faceless on Sweden Strong. Remnant is down. The Chira Jr. coming out. Sleight of Fist doesn't have those Searing Chains for another second. Do they have the lockdown after this one? Time dilation and the jump away the RP. They're going to be full and committing onto this one now as well. They might have the damage. They will have the damage. You get the kill onto Violent now. Telekinesis drive back up onto Zeneca. Zeneca, no way he gets himself away from this one now. Even with the surge, is it going to be off Lucent Beam? It still connects. One more right click. Not going to be off. Can't get a range for that. And Zeneca will be away, but they do lose the Faceless Void and commit the Chrono and don't get anything from Klim Sani4 on that.
Yeah, he pulled the trigger just a little early there. I mean, I understand, right? If you get Chira down early, it means that you're actually going to get to play the rest of the fight. He's got the Mage Slayer up right now, 17 minutes. He's at it since 15. 15 is like a good timing for the Mage Slayer rush.
Yeah.
But once that's up, like if you want to get any damage output out of your early heroes, and especially don't underestimate how much of the Faceless Void's damage is magical as well. Between the bashes being magical, as well as, of course, the effects of the time dilation.
Yeah.
So, it is understandable that they want to go for the Ember Spirit there. They see him, they pull the trigger, but unfortunately they just don't have the raw burst to take him down now.
And
I don't remember his flame guard was up, but
I think it was. I think that's
yeah,
what got
that's the problem.
you know, the finger got absorbed by it. So they weren't. Yeah, maybe if that flame guard was down, the finger gets the kill though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Zeneca, how's he looking? He's actually going to go back for the mech, so maybe those the GG boots to come out a little bit later on here as well. But yeah, all of a sudden it just feels like, especially with the chronosphere being down, the finger being down as well, that this is a big time for Chira to try and make something happen with the rest of his team.
And he's going for the BKB next. And this feels really good as an Ember Spirit, where you really don't have to worry about your damage output at all. You're just slighting, giving vision, keeping that debuff up, making sure that you can't die, and then the rest of your team is going to either follow up with the big ults like the RP, or you're going to bring in the right-click damage with the Luna. Ember does not like being the primary damage dealer.
No, yeah, like you said, just being able to get in and out, scout out, and just constantly being a menace with the Searing Chains here. You see that Luna already has the Manta style up, you know, looking at 18 minutes, net worth top of the table, 3,000 gold ahead of the Faceless Void here, and just using these illusions to push down the lane while she farms out the jungle. A could be in trouble, will be in trouble, and this should be another death. Yeah, the lockdown, way too much.
That was pretty funny there for a second, where Chira does the whole song and dance where he walks a little circle to try and dodge the Earth Spike, and like Earth Spike has a little bit of that little side spike on it, and Ake aims next to him, hits him anyway.
Yeah, there's a bit of magnetism going on the Earth Spike that maybe something like the Impale for the Nyx doesn't quite get. So, you know, it's just it's one of those, again, another advantage of playing the Lion over the spells, because I mean the Impale, Earth Spike, same spell, but Lion gets a better version. You know, Finger and Laguna Blade, same spell, but Lion gets a better version. They jump back, they get the catch, and they take him down once again. He's just respawned, lads. Just leave him alone, let him catch his breath.
Nah. No mercy. They've got the ward set up here to watch behind the tower for those DPs. They were putting themselves in a position where if anybody comes off the high ground on the left, they only see the Ember Spirit, which is the guy that can't get out. The rest of them are in the trees, waiting for the snipe, and the snipe came. Yeah,
Nikki Cool slowed down there now as well. The Empower is onto the Ember Spirit. Do you think this damage out to Hellscream? Hellscream going to be dragged back into the waiting arms of the Luna. And now that Rolling Thunder, it's going to be about halfway, nearly all the way done now as well. Zeneca, he pops the Shivas into that wall, and Cloud has to back himself away, going to be slowed down. These illusions doing a lot of damage now as well. Chronosphere comes out. Zeneca, the damage coming through. Was that the Earth Spike stolen by the Rubik? It was. They clean up onto the Faceless Void. Faceless Void, no buyback. Hellscream just buy back into this fight now as well. Chase down Zeneca, being chased down by this Luna illusion, and this damage turning around onto Nemiga. I mean, yeah, the Ench just steals one of the Lunar Illusions from the wall. They get the Earth Spike onto the Chronosphere. The steals from Klim Sage. It saves the... I can't even say it saves the fight. It just gives them the bonus in these fights, and they're able to put the pressure onto Nemiga. And now Chira Jr. onto the Earthshaker. Earthshaker, though, is going to be surged away.
Yeah, we haven't seen a single Echo Slam from him yet, though. And I think a lot of that is down to all of the chipping that happens. Like, if you're not getting chipped by the Ember Spirit, you're probably in the face of the Ancient. She's going to be the one disabling your Blink instead. It's so rough to have to play this game.
And you can see that Cloud had to jump himself away. Backlines, what was stolen? It's going to be the, Swashbuckle here for the Rubik, which... not bad, but not the greatest spell in the world. You know, maybe if you can steal the Rolling Thunder, we see the Rubik's Cubes coming out. I think that's what Rubik might be aiming for, but it's not the easiest spell to get on the Rubik.
No, it's quite hard. Like the amount of times that a Pango is simply going to be jumping during the roll already. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah. Magnus as well, we mentioned it in the draft, did get that Harpoon up after the Blink Dagger, so he has gone back for that. That's some more controlling. Who needs to spend gold on a Horn Toss when you get stats and the Harpoon for that anyway?
I am always weirded out when I see the Aghanim Scepter being built. Like, surely Harpoon is just straight up better.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have if you get it, you know, maybe from... you get it for free a little bit later on, or it's like I literally have too much gold. I'm 6-7 slotted.
Yeah, you could just also go out and buy Lego, you know. Like, that's what I would do.
And okay,
go buy your Luna some moon shards. I don't know.
True, yeah, that is something that you could maybe opt towards. And though in terms of farm, I don't think Munkushi would have any trouble getting his own moonshard in this fight, in this game.
No, and he is getting dangerously close to that BKB now. And once that's up, I think this is one of the gripes I have with Violent. Like, of course, he's a fun player to watch because he's aggressive and he takes risks. But we've seen him get punished for that several times now.
Yeah.
And this is a man who has just finished the full Mjolnir. And is now going into the BKB. But his team's dying.
They do get a response, killing off respect, but they're going to lose a tier 2 tower for that now as well. And yeah, like you say, these Lunar Illusions stepping up onto the tier 3 with the siege creep there as well. That's just early warning signs. Should be going off here on the Klaxons. Should be signaling here for Nemiga that they've got to be quick on the response to defend their high ground.
Yep, one more lost fight and they've lost their mid-racks. It is really that simple right now.
Yeah. And Luna, how much do you like this? The Kanda being queued up for the Luna?
That's an interesting one, isn't it? I'm always a fan.
I don't mind. I mean, I know people are like, oh, it's the meme item. It's like the meme hammer of this patch. But like, I'm playing it, I'm getting it on like LC. I'm going instead of Blink Dive, I'm going Harpoon into the Kanda, for the range, the damage. I do think it does. Okay, if you go in Sniper, Kanda, 5 Rapiers, then that might be a little bit of a meme. But for the most part, I do think that the item has its place.
It does, and Luna is a mixed damage core, which is something that we sometimes see ignored. I really enjoy the kind of Luna players that know when to build an Aghanim Scepter, for example, just because they realize that their physical damage is not going to cut it this game, so we do Magic Burst instead. Like, she has that flexibility.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. I think maybe, and I guess that's the trade-off, right, for a Daedalus, that the crit isn't as good, but you get so much more utility out of the Kanda that if the crit was just as good, the Daedalus, it suffered the same fate that when the Silver Edge first came out, where the Daedalus just became a dead item.
Yep, that it is very much related to that. And one of the problems that Luna has is, of course, that a lot of her physical damage is so spread out that it can often take a while to actually take targets down. So added burst here is a very good idea, in my opinion.
And we can see Munkushi not afraid to move himself through. 23 minutes into the game, an 11k net worth lead. Not as dominant here from the side of Klim Sani4 in the second game, not nearly 1k a minute, but it does feel like now they are taking the tempo, they're taking the pace of this game. They feel like they are in control at the minute.
And they absolutely are. They're going to be mopping up this bottom side of the map. Now, this middle tower still isn't... It's not even on half health. Nemiga just hasn't been able to even, like, take pot shots at it.
Yeah.
While Klim Sani4 was in other places.
And, yeah, this just offers so much... I know it's not as useful, into this part of the game, but still, if your heroes are in trouble in the jungle, which it never feels like it does because they're spending every second on the Radiant side of the map at the minute, but it just gives you another option to TP in. You'll help protect your teammates here. And the Lion, going to be able to use that mana drain. Just deal with these Munkushi illusions because they are starting to put pressure now onto the high ground.
Yeah. For me, the bigger deal of that middle tower is that the mid wave is constantly going to be on the Radiant side, which means that there's several paths through the river that are just not covered by natural vision. There's you don't feel safe in your triangle even just because there's actual entrances that the creep waves are not covering for you as the glaives start to bounce.
This is it. The Shredder comes out here from Munkushi. They're going to lose a lane of racks without even defending this one. They really want this BKB on the Faceless Void, I think, before the next fight, but it's going to cost them one. Might even cost them another tier 3 tower in the mid lane here because Klim Sani4, they have this Aegis still. There's no way, there's no reason to let up on this pressure.
Absolutely not. And look at their positioning right now. It's
I mean, this is it. You've got 3-4 heroes on the side of Nemiga just missing. Ake's trying to defend the base for himself, and Faceless Void trying to cut the wave on the other side of the map. He's still gonna be up 400 gold away from Munkushi. To be able to get the kill onto it, and this is going to be a second. Hell, this is a buyback for the Lion, but they still have this Aegis. Did Klim Sani4 even stop? Do they just want to try and force out Megas, or try and force out a fight around the Radiant base?
They would like to, but you can see that they're also a little hesitant because they do not actually want to get caught on the wrong end of a Chronosphere with a BKB Faceless Void.
Okay, and damage coming through now, so they take 2 lanes of racks. Aegis 2 minutes still on that back lines, though Earthshaker Hellscream is going to be away. Okay, so, yeah, 2 lanes of racks for free, and the Aegis still hasn't gone down. Still got that for 1 minute and 40, so Klim, they can reset if they want to, and it looks like Luna changed their mind, just going to go straight into the Daedalus.
Yeah, at this point with the 2 waves already out, you're always going to have an advantage in the fight, since this might just be Nemiga's desperation fight here. They have the BKB.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they get the kill? No. A lot of damage being soaked here. Backlines, they get the control. They might be able to get the kill. They do. They get the kill onto the Darkseer. And in fact, Luna did actually go for the Kanda. And now Daedalus queued up. So, gotta have both, you know. Por qué no los dos? Which is the only Spanish I know.
Surely you know donde está la biblioteca.
Yes, I do. I do know that. It's an old one, but it's a classic, yeah. Though only when it said...
Dos cervezas, por favor.
Yeah, yeah.
You see? You're
fluent. It's coming back to me now, yeah. The high school language class is coming back to me. So
I don't think I can order 2 beers in like 8 languages.
I just do the proper English thing of just, you know, speaking a little bit louder and slower, and people seem to understand that.
Yeah. I mean, it's that whole thing of like everybody speaks your language because it's the only language you understand.
Yeah. There was actually I went to Germany for the Berlin Major last year, and there was a point where we wandered just a little bit outside of the main, you know, part of the city, and then that got to nobody spoke English.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hang on, Google Translate. But yeah, it's I don't know. Spanish it's one of those that we were forced to learn Spanish and French at the same time. So it was just, I'm not a language person. Maybe if I tried to learn one at a time, I would be. But trying to learn 2 languages at once, it wasn't a fun time.
Yeah, especially when they're that related. I mean, unfortunately, I have to tell you here that in Dutch high school we do like 5 languages at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like at some point just more than half of my hours in school were spent learning languages, because you get your Dutch, you get your English, then you do your German and your French. And then since I was in gymnasium, I did Latin and Greek.
Yeah, because everyone needs Latin. You know, that super useful language. You seriously learned Latin?
Yeah, but that's optional for like the whiz kids. It's for the nerds, basically.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it myself.
Actually, like I am a regular Hermione.
Jump comes in, they're going to be able to get the catch now as well. The harpoon dragged back onto the Darkseer. The damage, it comes out. Shira Jr. will be able to stack up, get this kill. And yeah, you can see that Klim Saric, they want to put all this focus on the top lane, because that's the only place where there's still towers standing here for Nemiga.
Yeah, and it also cuts off the access to the next Roche.
Yeah.
It might not even come up this game anymore, but just in case, the bot lane shoving itself, racks there are gone, mid lane shoving itself, same question. So you are behind the 1 wave that the enemy could get some natural pressure on, and you make sure that even there they do not get to take a single breath.
And the BKB is up for the Faceless Void, but he's still got to worry, you know, the RP coming out, just the pure damage as well. If Munkushi doesn't get caught out in a Chronosphere, yeah, he just pops his shard. He's going to be able to run in. He's just going to be able to rip through heroes. So position it again for Nemiga. It feels like that's been the thing all game, but they have to be very, very aware when this Faceless Void jumps in.
Yeah, I mean, they made it hard on themselves with the 4 melee. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And Violent. I'm thinking, like, what item do you buy next on this man? Because you are so far behind in terms of like what your items are doing for you. I normally be like, okay, this is a Faceless Void, right? We're desperate here. We gotta wanna like turn the game here. You go for a refresher, but I don't think your team outputs enough damage to make that refresher worth it at all.
Would you maybe trade up, go for something like a Butterfly here on Violent, and just, you know, try, like you say, try and stack that right-click damage?
Honestly, might be the way to go. The Butterfly is not quite a damage item though. Like, Butterfly, a lot of the damage from Butterfly is you deal more damage because you live longer. And Faceless Void is one of the heroes that is, of course, excellent at that, right? It's like one of the reasons that Faceless Voids deal such ungodly amounts of damage is because they are so hard to kill.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, once again, the rest of his team's gonna be dead by that point.
Yeah, true.
I'm legit stumped, and Violent's not helping me. He's got nothing queued up. 2k in his pocket, presumably for the buyback. While we are going in for the Hail Mary smoke towards that bot side. Roshan.
And this is
very close to spawning.
Yeah, this could be the Butch and Sundance time coming out here for Nemiga, because if they lose this fight, the lanes are pushing in.
They get scouted.
Not even if they lose, if they're out of the base for any amount of time here, oh, no one's skewered back, and it looks like Magnus was just going to retreat with the rest of the team, but they did force out, not even force out, they did get the Rolling Thunder to come out now as well. Kira Jr. pops up PKB, dive to the back lines, they're going to be able to get 8 straight away out of this fight, and now the Rolling Thunder does wear off. Meanwhile, again, the base is being pushed in, so we'll see, you know, just how Nemiga are going to respond. Do they want to TP out? Do they want to try and leave this one alone? Nicky Cool being slowed down, Harpoon comes back, drag back now as well. He's already used that Rolling Thunder, tries to get himself away with the Swashbuckler, the wall's going to be dropped now as well. Chronosphere, it actually catches on to a really good amount of heroes on the side, but Violent, like you say, no damage to follow up. They're just going to call the GG. They're just like, okay, that was it. That was our one chance. We don't have it, and we give the game up to Klim, and I believe this was an elimination match as well. Nemiga, they just, they just say good luck next.
That was it, and that's not a bang but a whimper. I gotta say, I was talking up Violent before this series, but he has been very